From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Good evening and welcome, my dear viewers. Every day the Uddhav government reveals its desperation against the Republic Media Network, and because of its desperation, because of its shakiness, because of its insecurity, it is making its desperation more and more obvious. As of this minute, ladies and gentlemen, the Mumbai Police Commissioner is working very hard. He's trying his best to fabricate. He's trying his very best, viewers, to fabricate fake evidence in the fake case against Republic TV. He's serving his political masters the best he can, and today, my sources inform me that he shouted publicly at a DCP who had told reporters in an informal briefing that nothing has been found against Republic TV. And he's doing the most unbelievable things, viewers. The Mumbai Police Commissioner, viewers, has made a list of 4 or 5 of the biggest advertisers on Republic TV. And I'm going public with this today, viewers. And he's sending them summons, one after the other. So he's playing a different game. He's made a list of who are the 4 or 5 top advertisers, and then he will call their CEOs, their marketing heads and others, and he then catches rival media to publish articles, and he spends about 90% of his day doing this. And then he's trying to make arrests, put pressure on people, get someone who has given a different statement naming India Today, change the statement, remove India Today's name, put Republic. All this is going on. Trust me, viewers, he will be completely exposed. It's a matter of time. Like the Bollywood mafia, the Mumbai Police Commissioner also will soon face national scrutiny for multiple reasons very soon. So he's in panic. He thinks we will compromise. We don't compromise, Parambir Singh. So you're the person in trouble. But that is not even the viewer. It's the real issue tonight. I want to talk to you about what happened this afternoon. Today at 2:51 p.m. I got a call from our office saying that we have been given a notice by the Maharashtra Assembly that I should appear before the Speaker at 3 p.m. It was stamped, received 2:50 p.m. Appearance required in 9 minutes. So I was told by the Maharashtra Assembly today, obviously on some instruction of the government, because this whole case has been picked up by the Shiv Sena, that in less than 10 minutes, I was told that in less than 550 seconds, I should appear before the Maharashtra Assembly. What is the idea here? The idea, viewers, is very simple. Because I don't have a hyperloop and cannot appear within 550 seconds in the Maharashtra Assembly, they will say, I was given a notice, I didn't comply with the orders, and I must be punished, and then they will tell their loyal Parambir Singh Mumbai police to act against me. This is their plan, somehow. Arrest me using coercive steps against me. I'm not worried about arrest, viewers, but I will fight every attempt to break due process of law. But what is more shocking here is something else. The utter contempt of Maharashtra, these Maharashtra Shiv Sena, Sonia Sena government, for the Supreme Court of India. Does the Maharashtra Assembly not know that the matter is sub judice before the Supreme Court of India? Do you not respect the Supreme Court of India? Do you not regard the Supreme Court of India? You have broken due process of law. Do you not care for the Supreme Court of India? Do they not know what's happening in the Supreme Court of India? They do, they do. Were they not issued notice to reply on 30th of September by the Supreme Court of India? Did they reply? No, they didn't. What does that prove? Contempt for the Supreme Court. When the matter is before the Supreme Court, you are writing official letters to me. How did you dare to approach the Supreme Court? I have a copy of those letters. You've committed contempt of the Assembly. How is it contempt of the Assembly if I'm exercising my legal rights as a citizen of India? But most of all, viewers, the absurdity of a 10-minute summon. A 10-minute summon. Any of you can now be given a summons to appear before anyone within 550 seconds. A 10-minute summons to settle scores. A 10-minute summons to establish superiority. A 10-minute summon to tell the people of India that the days of the emergency are back. So I will fight, viewers. Their fake FIRs, their fake evidence, their fake ego, and their attempt to destroy due process. Their people are coming on our channel, their supporters have come on the channel and said, we will close down your channel. Viewers, there is a elderly film star. He has gone on a TV show which he hosts and he said, we will close down Republic TV, effectively in those words. Now, I am asking you, viewers, if I am taking on the drugs in Bollywood and I am saying there is use of corporate fronts to make the use of drugs commercialized, is that a reason for a whole lobby to come together and now say that you will close Republic Network? Who the hell are you to say that? And then they come and say, oh, we are all united against Republic. Laughable. Laughable. Shah Rukh, Salman, Amir, Akshay, Ajay Devgan, all of them, single target, Republic. Show of strength in Delhi High Court. Where is that show of strength today? Viewers, within 2 days of filing that case in the Delhi High Court, they have started fighting internally. Cinta versus this law firm versus that law firm. I have all the details. That short-lived show of unity was short-lived for the very reason because they have no moral and ethical case to try and subvert the free expression, free reporting in this country. And so I'm saying very clearly tonight, viewers, we are taking on these forces. People say they are powerful. It doesn't matter whether they are powerful or not. For me, the only thing that matters is that they are wrong. Drugs in Bollywood is wrong. Let all the 34 stars, let Shah Rukh, Salman, Amitabh Bachchan, XYZ, Akshay Kumar, Farhan Akhtar, let them all stand together in front of me and say that we have no right to question Bollywood on drugs. I still will say I have a right. You cannot have that kind of an injunction in this country against the free media. It will not be allowed. Second point I want to make tonight, viewers. They have said we'll close down Republic Network. They will fabricate evidence. And the police commissioner tells a newspaper, we picked up people, we made them change their line, change the name of the channel they were mentioning to make it conveniently about Republic, and now we've got a 164 against them. So now nobody can accuse us of forcing evidence. Why are you talking like that, Mr. Parambir Singh? This is a written statement, which means you know the guilt is on you that you're trying to fabricate evidence against me. Who will believe your evidence? You can pick up anybody in this country today, put pressure on them, fabricate evidence, put pressure, force confessions out. But everything is exposed today because of this 10-minute notice. And so through this 10-minute notice, through all of this, we take a vow today that we will emerge stronger out of this, viewers. I'm getting so much support from the people of this country. We will emerge stronger. And we are not the only ones fighting this good fight. Today in Odisha, there's a leading channel called OTV, which is being persecuted on a daily basis by the Naveen Patnaik government. Just one reason. It's because the people who run and own that channel are from the family of Jay Panda, who left the BJD to join the BJP. And so it's an all-out war against the network. What is the fault of the network? Viewers, we are also told today that be careful, there's nobody standing with you. Who are these people who I need to stand with me when I have you with me, viewers? They say the media is not going to stand with you. I don't believe in that media that is silent today. They have Parambir Singh's patronage today. They don't have the patronage of the people of India. So my hashtag for the evening is, viewers, the Arnab 10-minute notice. I'm sorry to put my name in the hashtag and tell you to tweet on it, but this is as direct as I can get, viewers. I get a notice to appear before the Maharashtra Assembly in 10 minutes. I did not. I will not. And they have said if you don't apologize to the Assembly, you will be sent to jail. I'm making a public declaration today. There is a prejudice and a bias in the Assembly because it has the dominance of political parties who I am fighting. I'm saying today, pick me up and arrest me now, because I'm making a preemptive statement, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to you. I will never apologize. I was told don't make this statement because they will use it as a ruse. I will say it nevertheless. I have questioned the sitting Chief Minister of Maharashtra by sitting in Mumbai. I work and operate, I live in Mumbai. I have got gratuitous advice from people. Arnab, you live in Mumbai, you work in Mumbai. They will go after you in Mumbai. And I'm saying today, I refuse to apologize to the Maharashtra Assembly. For I have done no wrong. And I fear no arrest. And I shall go to the court. And we shall be vindicated. And I will never accept it, whether it's a 10-hour or a 10-minute notice. I will continue to fight. Even if I am not heard, even if I lose in the Supreme Court of India, even if after that they think they can drag me to the Assembly, put my head down and make me apologize to prove their point, I will not apologize. If they fabricate facts and evidence against me, they force people to put evidence against me. They say that India's largest network runs because we circulate 500 rupees among 10 people, a bunch of lies. And even if all my competitors come together against me, I will not apologize, viewers. I have done no wrong. I place myself in your court today, the highest court of the country. And of course, besides the highest court of the country, the Supreme Court, in the court of public opinion, viewers, I will not apologize. Let there be 10 more 10-minute notices. I will not apologize. Arrest me, Uddhav Thackeray. Arrest me now. Arrest me now. You will never get an apology from Republic. That's our first debate tonight. Vendetta has crossed all limits. And I am reaching out to the people of India tonight. Give me your judgment. And debate number 2 is the free media versus fake cases. The Naveen Patnaik government goes against the largest news network in Odisha, fundamentally for the same kind of vendetta that they have, that Uddhav has against Republic in Maharashtra. That's debate number 2, and here are the headlines. This Friday evening on the debate tonight, notice received at 2:50 p.m. Asked to be in the Assembly at 3 p.m. The 10-minute notice shocks India. Utter malice and outright vendetta crosses limits. It becomes clear with the Maharashtra Assembly's 4th notice against Republic. The Maharashtra Assembly also displays complete and absolute and utter disregard to the Supreme Court of India. Tries intimidating Republic with back-to-back frivolous notices. Close to 3 lakh tweets and counting. I thank you viewers for standing with Republic and our journalism. Odisha government mirrors Maharashtra. Senior reporter from Odisha's #1 network, OTV, picked up for his report against Naveen Patnaik. And what happens when the police commissioner and the state government work in tandem against media houses? Free media versus fake cases debate at 10 p.m. tonight. The country should watch. Ladies and gentlemen, at exactly 2:50 p.m. this afternoon, I received a notice from the Maharashtra Assembly Speaker. And I have the evidence, I have the receipt stamped to show as evidence. The Assembly Speaker told me to be present before him in 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, if you do a simple Google map search, the distance from my office here in Worli to the Maharashtra Vidhan Bhavan, is about 10 kilometers. And even on non-traffic days, it would take me at least 30 minutes to reach the assembly. I would anyway not ever apologize to the assembly, but I want to focus on the intent of this 10-minute notice. The intent of the notice is aimed at trying to build a case that I am not accepting the notice and following its instructions. Creating a series of circumstances. And perhaps they do this against others, but we have the opportunity to say so on television. This is utter malice. And today what has been proven as a result of this, that everything that is happening against Republic is pure 100% vendetta. Cheered on by rival media houses and of course by their political masters. But we as a free media will fight this tooth and nail. Now let's debate.
2:50 p.m. the Republic newsroom is buzzing with activity. Breaking stories, setting the day's news agenda. That's when this notice, the fourth one so far from the Maharashtra Assembly Speaker's office, is received by Republic staff. The time is 2:50 p.m. Republic TV editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami, who's already fighting the case in the highest court of the country, is asked to present himself before the Speaker in 10 minutes. The 10-minute notice is the biggest proof of how a state machinery can be misused to go after a free media.
You have given me a notice received duly by my office at 2:50 p.m. And you have said, appear before the assembly at 4 p.m. If you have given me a summons, you've told me to reach the office at 3 p.m. and you've served me the notice at 2:50 p.m. What does it mean, Rhythm? You tell me. You can tell the people watching tonight. They've given what has never happened in the history of India. They have shown their vendetta in public today. After today, the people of India know clearly the game that's going on in Maharashtra. You have asked me to reach the assembly in 10 minutes. Am I going to travel there on a hyperloop? Are you out of your mind?
When the Maharashtra Assembly targeted Republic with a privilege motion, we approached the Supreme Court. The 10-minute notice is a reflection of the utter disregard for the top court.
रिपब्लिक टीव्ही यांनी त्याच्या वृत्तवाहिनीच्या माध्यमातून जाणीवपूर्वक कट करून माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र राज्य यांचा व पर्यायाने 19 विधानमंडळ सभागृहाचा विशेषाधिकार भंगाचा अवमान केलेला आहे.
In fact, the last few days have witnessed the starting point of a larger fight and a bigger debate about the attack on the media. Senior editors of the Republic team questioned and grilled for a total of 14 hours in 2 days over a report that was the basis of the FIR in the TRP case. An FIR that didn't for once mention Republic TV. We exposed the lies with hard evidence.
BARC ने जो अपनी एनालिटिकल रिपोर्ट सबमिट की है उसमें जो नाम सामने आया है वो है रिपब्लिक टेलीविजन का.
One lie exposed, another cover-up under question. Relentless reportage and investigation in the Sushant case has led the Mumbai police to summon consulting editor Pradeep Bhandari. This despite him getting an anticipatory bail.
Pradeep Bhandari gets an anticipatory bail, but Ratan Sharda, today Pradeep Bhandari gets another letter saying, if you don't come, leave your work in Bihar and come to Mumbai on 22nd before the police station, we will issue a warrant against you.
It goes all the way back to Palghar, when we questioned the police for watching like onlookers as sadhus were lynched in front of their eyes. Even then, when they tried being vindictive, we took our fight to the Supreme Court and the High Court.
There was suspension of the FIRs in the Palghar case and the Bandra case. Both these have been noted in this particular notice, show court notice that had been given to us. He explained how this was in contempt of court of the Bombay High Court order and the 19th May Supreme Court order. After hearing all the arguments, the matter has been reserved. The date of this matter will be on 24th October when it will next be heard.
From the Bandra conspiracy to the Bollywood drugs case, each time they tried orchestrating a narrative that is detrimental to the nation, we exposed them with facts. Their desperation has been evident on many occasions.
Switch off the cameras. Switch off the cameras.
It's an inflection point, a battle that Republic will fight to the finish, because it's a battle against a repressive state's malicious attack through frivolous cases on the rights of the media. A media that is fair, fierce, and fearless. Let's debate.
DK Rai, tell Rahul Narvekar how far you can go in 10 minutes. Or tell Tuhin or MR Venkatesh, how far can you go in 10 minutes?
Arnab, they think you're Superman.
Say so, DK.
Probably by WhatsApp. Probably they expect you to come through WhatsApp.
The notice issued, I will be very honest, the notice issued is against all the laws, and we presume that this notice is not fair on any part. It is just vindication, and you know, notices for 10 minutes, we have unheard in the law. However, again, this type of notices has been made. They may be very unfair to you. They may be vindictive. They may be, you know, taking revenge for all the acts in the Sushant cases you have done.
Thank you for confirming that.
You also have certain
Thank you for
options.
confirming
you are
that.
Still trying to make everything.
No, thank you for confirming
media
that.
spectacles.
No, so
Don't
thank you.
make
Today viewers, 1 minute, please note.
Yes,
Tuhin, please note. 1 minute. Tuhin, please note.
Yes.
An admission on the program that they are trying to fix you because you covered Sushant and Palghar. An admission. Now I'll tell you, they will fabricate facts. They will bring people. I want to tell you one more thing. Yeah, okay, Tuhin.
The
Arnav, it is not an admission.
1 minute. Let us have all sides.
With you and with other media houses who stand for truth in the midst of pandemic is reprehensible, to say the least. It reeks of a very petty mindset, very feudalistic mindset. Even if Uddhav Thackeray were to send his personal helicopter to ferry you to the assembly, which I'm sure you would have refused, you would probably not have reached in 9 minutes and 45 seconds. But having said that, you know, the BJP unequivocally condemns this behavior, whether it is in Odisha or in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, if you recall, it started with the Palghar case, which makes me believe that basically the Thackeray government is following instructions of their political masters, which is Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, who have presided over this behavior right from the time of emergency when Indira Gandhi had indulged in similar behavior throughout the country. But in Maharashtra at this point of time, the behavior is maybe is worse than emergency, because I think even in the days of emergency, a 9-minute notice,
I also want to further say, no, I want to further say, 1 minute. What does this prove? DK, 1 minute. DK, 1 minute. What does this prove? Today, PK Jain and MR Venkatesh, I just want to tell you, PK, I'm sure, Mr. PK Jain and MR. Mr. Jain, I want you to just call up this Parambir fellow and tell him, why do you want to work so hard to fabricate evidence against Republic? Because the evidence was against another channel. You are looking like a fool because the FIR was on another channel, Hansa report was on another channel. They tried to get the Hansa person to also do a 164 against me. When they have failed to do that, they have got some ex-Hansa employee, not the employee who named the other channel. They are getting any Tom, Dick and Harry. Now, one day they will beat him up. Next day they will say, okay, now come on, if you want to be out, give a 164 statement against Republic. But after what is going on, what is happening, Mr. Jain, is the Mumbai police has lost the battle of public perception, because the people who will trust, tomorrow they can even get you, Mr. Jain. They can even get you to make a statement against Republic. So the question is, in the court of public opinion, who believes the Parambir Singh anymore? Do you, MR? Do you?
No, not
PK?
at all.
Who believes Parambir Singh and the Mumbai police anymore? If they fabricate all the evidence, will it have any? Will it stand any weight?
Eventually, all the evidence that the police collects will have to be testified.
Yeah. So tell me one thing. Okay. So tell me one thing, PK Jain. Tell me one thing. There is a person mentioned in the Hansa report who says that I was given 500 rupees to name India Today, to watch India Today. The person is on tape saying the same thing to me. I have footage and I will show you, viewers. They surround the person's house with police officers. 20 police officers surround the person's house. They intimidate the person. Make the person change the statement. The same person who said yesterday that I was given money to watch India Today changes the statement and says I was given money to watch Republic. Then they will get a 164 stamp, pressurize the person. There are police persons outside the person's house right now. So mind telling you, now tell me about the 10-minute notice. How stupid are people looking now? MR, the question is, how stupid will they all look?
Arnab bhai, I want to ask you the last hearing when the third notice was served, was there a time and date given at that time? If it was
on the privilege notice, yeah, I will tell you. You want to hear?
Earlier notice.
No, you want to hear? 1 second. You want to hear? Then I will tell you. Are you willing to hear the sequence of events? 1 minute, okay. Viewers, I am being asked that I am hyping this, and this is not such a big deal. I should be telling people about the sequence of events. And I just want to share it with you. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, sir. You will debate with Mr. Kannan. Okay, here's the sequence of events, Mr. Kannan. Mr. Manan, here's the sequence of events. Okay. On the 1st of October 2020, the notice of the case in the Supreme Court along with the writ petition was emailed to the Maharashtra Assembly by the Assistant Registrar of the Supreme Court of India. There was no reply from the Maharashtra Assembly. Is that due process? Okay. Secondly, the Honorable Supreme Court is still hearing the matter. And importantly, Mr. Jain, the matter is sub judice in the Supreme Court of India, not a sessions court. You are then giving me a 10-minute notice. It shows utter disregard for the Supreme Court of India when on the hearing before the Supreme Court on 12th October 2020, they did not even bother to send someone to appear for the Maharashtra Assembly. And on 1st October, a notice was emailed to the Maharashtra Assembly by the Assistant Registrar of the Supreme Court. Still, they don't bother to reply. You realize the sequence of events. Now, as far as the notices are concerned, we have replied to every notice. When we serve the hard copies, Mr. Manan, very smartly, they refuse to acknowledge the hard copies. Which means you are trying to build a case. Your entire malicious, capricious purpose is to say we are not following the law. And hence I am compelled. Now here is the notice. I am sorry if you take me to jail for saying it's confidential. Here is the notice, 16th October, received at 2:51 p.m. You are directed to arrive at the assembly by 3 p.m. What is this? You make a joke of this country, Uddhav Thackeray and team. Now answer.
Now may I come?
Late on you is a wrong thing. And you will be within your right to make a representation.
No, why are they doing it?
On you late and see, I have no idea because
why? How can you have no idea?
My experience says that many a time.
No, this is the same. This is the same Kangana Baradara bungalow breaking kind of situation. You will do what the hell you want because you think you're in power, Mr. Manan.
Yeah.
Mr. Kannan.
I'll tell you why they have done it like this. You know.
Yes.
May I tell you why they have done it like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I have gone through the law. When they found that nothing is against you,
yeah,
and when they found that nothing is coming out against you,
yeah,
then they tried to make another case against you under Section 174 IPC,
yeah,
disobedience of the summons of a public servant.
Correct.
But for that purpose, they have to give the summons or the notice,
yeah,
for appropriate time.
Yeah.
10 minutes not a appropriate time, or 10 minutes is not a sufficient time.
Why are they doing it then?
Now I will come on another issue.
Yeah.
Prima facie, when the Honorable Supreme Court found that case is made out for issuing a notice in your case, only then they have issued a notice. Generally, Supreme Court don't issue the notice in each and every case.
I agree.
2. Now you see that even otherwise prima facie case against you for the contempt of the Maharashtra Assembly is not made out. You have not given any remarks which are contemptuous or come under the ambit of contempt of the House.
Yeah.
And they know it that ultimately they will not find anything against Arnab or your channel.
But why are they meant upon embarrassing themselves is my question here, you know. No, I agree with all that. Anand, no, Anand is also on the debate. Pinky Anand, I want to go to first before Anand Ranganathan. So Pinky Anand, why are they bent upon embarrassing themselves? Anand wants to come in first. Okay, Anand Ranganathan first. This is, see, Anand, today nobody takes Parambir Singh seriously anymore. They will fabricate evidence. They will send 10-minute notices. What concerns me is disregard for the Supreme Court, which is now becoming apparent. Secondly, I also want to tell you, Anand.
Arnab.
Yes, Anand, yeah.
I think they got confused, to be honest, Arnab. You know, with that 10-minute notice, they thought you were Rahul Gandhi. Only with Jupiter's escape velocity can you reach from the studio to the assembly. But the fact of the matter is that 2 months ago, Shiv Sena, Congress, NCP were a happy, jouncing family of rabbits. Then you came and you switched on the headlights. This is what the story is in one sentence.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had to read a little bit about what privilege motion is. To be honest, before I came on this debate, I thought it is something that is induced by Isabgol. But what, you know, to be serious, what is going on here? Let me put it the other way. If you had kurta pajama and jhola like a JNU type and you were the editor of a channel that believed in supporting urban Naxals and Naxals of Bastar and all that, this country would have been on the boil right now as I'm speaking.
That's
and
so
for
true,
the
sir.
next month,
yeah.
there would have been column yards written in Washington Post and New York Times saying that this country has collapsed. What has happened?
Mr. Anand, we are not on the political lecture. We are on
what
the
has happened to this country? But you are now. Please don't interrupt.
Why this service
Sir,
is
please
so
don't
malaise?
interrupt. Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt. I want to say something very important. Arnab, you know, this is a complete assault on the freedom of speech and expression. Not only that, it is an assault on the press freedom. And worst of all these bodies who supposedly stand up for you people, for journalists, are completely quiet. Cat has got their tongue.
Yeah.
So my only, I don't mean to be patronizing, but my only suggestion, which I'm sure you will not take because you're your own man, is to actually wrap up Republic Studios in Mumbai and come to Noida.
No.
Come to Yogi Adityanath's land.
No. Why should we? Why should no, Anand? No, Anand, thank you. Thank you. See, the thing is, Anand, that is what they would love. But MR. Yeah, MR, what do you say?
I want to say something.
Yeah.
Arnab, you are not fighting this war on your personal self. This is a just war, and like Bhagavad Gita says, this is a just war, and the just war has to be fought. You are not fighting for yourself, you are fighting for part 3 of the constitution. Like I always said, state of Maharashtra versus Republic is going to be Keshavananda Bharati for the next generation. So please stand where you are, fight, and you will win. You will succeed, Arnab, for a simple reason. Law is with you, truth is with you, dharma is with you, people are with you. And so, for heaven's sake, don't quit.
No, but now that.
Even finish the
but
thought.
now that.
Finish the thought.
But I ask you one thing.
But Arnab, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The question is not this 9-minute, 10-minute notice time period. The notice itself is frivolous. The notice itself is a contempt for law and the process of law.
I also.
That is worrying me.
No, I
that
also.
is worrying equally the silence of the Lutyens media.
No, I also want to add one more point. If I can add a bit of information, I want to share. No, I want to share a bit of information. And Pinky, this is, you will be, as a Supreme Court lawyer, you can guide me on this. You see, the other day I was in court, represented by Mr. Salve, and in the observations, Chief Justice of India, Justice Bobde, I think it was Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, in the bench, someone mentioned that they are concerned about the way in which police commissioners do press conferences. It was in the context of Parambir Singh doing a press conference accusing Republic when the investigation had not just started. Now, it is proven that the case was against India Today, not Republic. Now he's made it a personal issue. So what he does every day, and I can prove it because he's quoted in today's Times of India. I don't know why Times of India does this. When an investigation is in progress, what glee are they getting? Maybe they are gleeful. I'm sure they have a lot of love and affection for me, the Times of India. But the question is this. the Times of India reports today that Parambir Singh has confirmed to them exclusively that he has found 3 people who are speaking against Republic and about whom he is getting 164 statements. And the Times of India also reports that the Mumbai Police Commissioner is now saying that, oh, now you cannot accuse me of forcibly extracting evidence from witnesses because it's a 164 statement. Now, my question is this. Today in the High Court in another matter, none other than the High Court Chief Justice in Mumbai, Dipankar Datta, also made observations about these police commissioners' press conferences at an early stage of the investigation, trying to influence the investigation. I can now say the police commissioner is doing daily press conferences, on record, off record, on Republic, being quoted in the media, proves therefore that the police commissioner is an interested party, operating with malice, influencing the investigation, putting things in the public domain, without having completed the investigation, without having investigated the individual or the channel who was named in the investigation at all, and trying to create a certain narrative. Now, I want to add one more thing to this, and it's a very serious legal matter. I hope the Supreme Court and High Court intervene on this. I got the Palghar matter. They went against me on Palghar, on the Bandra case. They went against me. I went to the Supreme Court, High Court. I was sent to the High Court. Eventually, the Supreme Court suspended the FIRs. After the suspension of the FIRs, in complete and absolute contempt for the High Court order, the Assistant Commissioner of Police issues a 101, 111, 108 case against me and asks me to personally appear to put 10 lakh rupees and bring a second person. I will take MR Venkatesh, who will give a guarantee for my good behavior. Now tell me one thing. I have got a suspension of the FIR by the Bombay High Court 2-judge bench. They don't care for that. The Supreme Court matter is sub judice. They don't care for that. The Supreme Court, Justice Chandrachud's bench has observed that police commissioners should not vitiate the investigative process by giving press conferences. But you have gone and every day you are being quoted in the Times of India. And you are leaking information. They are quoting you. On what, and you are saying, oh, I have got something against Republic. What is this? You did a press conference, you closed a case against another channel, you named Republic, and then you concealed the fact that there was an FIR against another channel. We got the Hansa report, we got the Bagh Disciplinary Committee report. The point is, what do you do when a police commissioner goes rogue? Pinky Anand is and when a state government says we will disregard every legal process to fix someone, what does a citizen do then?
Arnab, I think you have put it so aptly to say how can a police commissioner go on record at an early stage of investigation, and of course you've relied upon some observations made by Justice Chandrachud. But the point is not only what is to be said. A police commissioner or any official of the police department at an early stage of investigation, when the investigation is not complete, is hardly competent to go and give a press interview in any respect, in any manner. That by itself is something which is totally dereliction of duties in their own way.
But he is continuing to do it.
From time to time.
He is continuing. He was quoted in today's Times of India after the Supreme Court observations. He has gone and told people the observations are not on me. Who are they on, Parambir? The Guwahati Commissioner. My point is that he is continuing to violate even after the Supreme Court observations.
Action should be taken. You know what is distressing, as you pointed out, is in our country we live by the rule of law and by the access to justice. If I may just add, Arnab, if you have denial of that access to justice, if there is any targeting or any malice, obviously it is something which is an actionable situation. I mean, let's take the breach of privilege issue in the first instance. You go to court, you take a plea against the breach of privilege issue and say it is not made out, you are an outsider, you're not a member of the House. There is no action by you or by the television medium to obstruct or impede the course of justice. Supreme Court, cognizant of the issues in hand, relying upon the various submissions made by you, issues notice. After that, to give you a notice to appear in 9 minutes and 55 seconds or 50 seconds is
Pinky, the point I'm making, Rahul Narvekar is also on, Ishkar and also on. The point I'm making in the afternoon or the early part of the day, the Supreme Court bench says that it frowns upon police commissioners doing press conferences. That evening, And I'm informing everyone, including their lordships, that evening, the police commissioner does a briefing. The next evening, the police commissioner does a briefing. He gets quoted in the Times of India. So this is proof today, and I don't know what, I mean, even I think there is introspection for the media also at this point of time. Why are you trying to influence the investigation, Ishkaran?
Arnab, why are you trying to influence the investigation has two answers. One is a serious answer and one is a funny answer. This has become a theater of the absurd. At 7 p.m. a panelist threatened to put you in jail, put other panelists in jail. So it's become a theater of absurd. And so I will give you a funny answer why they are doing all this. You have made such Herculean efforts from Palghar onwards to bust the narratives that I think government of Maharashtra has started thinking you are Superman and you can reach in 10 minutes. There is no other logical explanation for the actions they are doing. For reporting Palghar, you get 200 FIRs, you win it in Supreme Court, High Court. Then what happens? They jail some of your journalists for going to a farmhouse. Then they summon your editor. Then Pradeep Bhandari. Now 10-minute notice. In any civilized democracy, all the citizens would say this is targeted harassment. In any other democracy, disregard for
judicial process. Disregard one point.
One small point. Arnab, in any other country, you would get millions of dollars in damages against the government
malicious prosecution.
For targeting an individual and a business enterprise. It is unfortunate that in India we do not have these damages on people in authority. They don't have to pay from their own pocket. They get public prosecutors to appear in court, whereas private citizen has to hire a lawyer. Since they do not pay from their own pocket, they can make a mockery of the law. I hope in this case, we set a new law that if you give notices, if you after High Court stays still file proceedings, you will pay for the legal expenses from your own pocket, no matter you're an IS officer or an IPS officer.
Ishkaran, I would like to just inform you on one point. There is a special MHA directive in 2010 where senior officer can constitute a board and he can make everyday police reporting and news to the media.
So whatever you can do what you want. No. The question is, okay. If the intent is harassment, let me change. Ishkaran, let me get Rahul also in. I ask you here today, DK, with due deference to your question. See, neither the courts, nor society, nor the media operate in a vacuum. We all know the circumstances and the atmospherics around this. Please consider one fact. Yesterday, Rahul, I'll give you one example. Yesterday, 25 policemen landed up around court. They were showing the court the proof that Mr. Pradeep Bhandari is trying to pay people to engineer a riot or something like that. The court dismissed it. Pradeep Bhandari got anticipatory bail. Pradeep Bhandari is now doing a sterling job reporting in Bihar in the pre-election situation. Today, Pradeep Bhandari also gets a letter. I mean, the entire government of Maharashtra and the entire Mumbai police has sent about 10 summons, interrogated my people for about 25 hours over the last 1 week. Whereas the FIR was on India Today. Not one person questioned or anything in that case. If it was a bona fide case, Rahul, you should first call the people from India Today and interrogate them. Without doing any interrogation of those named in the FIR or those in the report, you are catching a third party. Second point, you tell Pradeep Bhandari today, okay, you got anticipatory bail yesterday. Today a letter goes, listen, drop your journalism, land up in Mumbai on 22nd, otherwise I'll give you an arrest warrant. Complete contempt for the High Court. So where do we go?
Well, Arnab, I don't think it's just disregards and disrespect for the High Court, but it's an attempt to suppress free media in this country. It appears to be a desperate attempt by a coward government to use their administrative powers to suppress free media in this country. And this is known to all. These tactics have been adopted by this government. We know about how journalists have been harassed even during that COVID lockdown situation outside Bandra, where hundreds of journalists were given notices, FIRs were filed against them so that they stop reporting against the government. And this is the approach of the government, and it's absolutely disheartening to see how democracy and freedom is being crushed by people who are supposed to safeguard both of these aspects in a civilized society. So it's unfortunate.
So the message,
that we have
what is the message?
Government actually taking up
message is you go against us, we'll go after you. That's the message, right, DK? What's the message, Tausif, which we are being served? You go against us, we'll go against it. Tausif and Tohin.
The message, Arnab, is that the Maharashtra government compulsively decides over illegality, has no sense of priority, and number three, that entire TRP case was a fabrication, it was a scam. The very fact that they are not moving ahead against India today shows that the entire case is fabricated. So tomorrow, if they have an iota of self-respect left, they should actually send you an apology letter instead of a summon, which they will not.
Now, Arnab, for today's non-appearance, for today's non-compliance of the notice that was given to you just 10 minutes before, you have a good case, you have a good reasons and good grounds for non-appearance today because it was served to you 10 minutes prior. However, this does not dissolve you. This does not absolve you of the
Supreme Court.
breach of privilege.
What breach of privilege have I done?
Now, without going into the merit of the breach of privilege.
What is my breach of privilege?
We all. No,
how have I breached privilege? I have questioned the sitting chief minister. How have I breached the privilege of any members of the house? No.
I'm not going into the merit.
Rahul Narvekar, I want to go deep into this. Suppose you question Mamata Banerjee. Are you questioning the West Bengal Assembly? I don't get this. Tausif and Rahul can debate on this. Let's define breach of privilege.
Well, criticism of a public representative or criticism of his manner of functioning in dealing with situations certainly cannot be a breach of privilege.
DK.
Of course, this is an issue to be
DK.
by the Honorable Speaker or by the privileged committee.
It is very important, Mr. Navrekar, whatever you say which is, against the basic fabric of the legislature, it innuendo or
what is the basic fabric of the
legislature? It amounts to breach of conduct.
Oh, so from henceforth you cannot criticize any member of parliament, you cannot criticize the prime minister, chief minister, nobody, you can't question anyone because there will always be a breach of privilege angle to it. It's an abuse of breach of privilege that you are talking about. Rahul Narvekar, are you responding?
Why you are
not? No, this just reminds me about the emergency once again. This just reminds me of the emergency era once again, where media was suppressed, media was crushed. This reminds us and takes us back to the 1977-78 era.
MR Venkatesh.
Legislature has a law. It has to be
unfortunate.
It has the power.
DK, don't tell us the law. Tell us where did Arnab actually create the breach of privilege? We want to know the fact. We don't want motherhood statements, grandmother statement. We want to know precisely. No, please tell me what is it that what is the crime Arnab has committed to be hauled through the privileges committee? I want to know why did the Maharashtra Assembly is in contempt of the Maharashtra Assembly itself by issuing such a notice. Maharashtra Assembly is actually in breach of the law. Maharashtra Assembly is actually having a contempt for the Constitution. Maharashtra Assembly has to explain why it is not adhering to the judiciary.
No.
So these are all very serious issues.
No, we can't. No. I'd like a Pinky also. In the Pinky, we can't abuse breach of privilege. Anand, we can't abuse breach of privilege. Anand, please. Anand.
Abuse. No, this is a classical case of abuse.
No, you're right. You can't abuse.
Okay. Yeah, Anand.
Ultimately,
there are two Anands here.
There are two Anands here. Let's get both on here.
Yeah. You have Raja Rampal's case. You have Enram's case where the issue itself is under consideration. You have Kalpana Mehta's case where this constitutional issue was debated, of course, in some other context. But can you be compelled not to say anything against a member of a
That's
house
what they
without
want.
in any manner interfering or obstructing
That's what
the
they want.
proceedings of the House, which is the only case of breach of privilege. We have adopted ultimately the House of Commons. We have no codified breach of privileges issues, but ultimately how far can we stretch them? Do they override each and every concern of the citizen of a country or each and every fundamental right? And that too, where is the enforcement as far as the question of breach of the House is concerned, or privilege of the House is concerned, if a single individual or any number of individuals is stated to
I got
be
30 seconds.
X, Y,
I got
or
30
Z,
seconds.
or
I got
there
30
is any
seconds. Who takes that?
criticism.
Anand Ranganathan, 1 second.
Arnab, if Narendra Modi had invoked the breach of privilege motion, 90% of Indian journalists would have been behind jail. These are bullying tactics, please understand. And what fears me is that the state has a monopoly of violence. It is overpowering. If you are not in jail right now, it is because the sad truth that the state has decided you need not be jailed today. But tomorrow would be different. So I again request you, Arnab, you have to do something, because today the whole country is with you. Whole country.
I intend to fight this. I intend to fight this. I intend to win this. And viewers, I want to tell you, I need your support, because all that Parambir Singh is doing day in and day out in contempt of the Supreme Court is planting stories left, right and center, despite the Supreme Court warning, despite the High Court warning. Here is a commissioner who has a single point agenda: to target one media house, nothing else. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side, I'll tell you the story from Orissa, where the leading channel of Orissa is being targeted in a similar manner by the Naveen Patnaik government. A few minutes.